How to handle an uprate. You're going to have a few customers that are going to walk into the office requesting assistance simply because their monthly payment is not exactly what they expected. Maybe their payment just went up. Maybe their renewal just went up. Technically, any uprate. There's two solutions. Solution number one, you're going to determine why the rate went up. You're going to determine the reason why the rate increased. Step number one, you're going to log into the Hawksoft and log into the website, and you're going to investigate the situation. Number two, you're going to read all the notes on both to understand if there's anything that indicates the reason why the policy went up. Number three, determine what the monthly payment should have been and understand the difference of the uprate. Sometimes it could simply be a late fee. So if the payment is $130 and they're requesting $136, for some of the insurance companies, that's just a late fee. So just check the history of the payments and check when was the last payment that was processed. It could simply be a late fee. So it may not even be an uprate. It's just the fact that the previous payment or the current payment is late. Number four, determine if the policy was canceled at any point, or determine if there's any additional fees such as an NSF fee. Simply when a policy set up on electronic payments and the payment is not drafted, the insurance company is going to charge an additional $30. So just investigate to determine if there's any additional fees for that specific month. Number five, look into the situation to determine if there's any endorsements that were processed within the last 30 days. Maybe they processed an endorsement and that calculated some sort of fees, so now the payment is a little bit different. So look into the situation to determine what endorsement was processed and if there's any differences due to the endorsement. Number six, look into the claim history to determine if there's any accidents that they were involved within the last 6 months. It could have possibly been that they were involved in an accident and now, based on that accident, they're responsible to pay more. Number seven, open up the deck page for the current policy, for the current term, and try to look into the situation and compare it to the previous term to understand if there's anything different. Maybe there's a few violations that didn't show up on the previous term, so therefore the payment is no longer the same. Number eight, check the application when the policy was processed and compare that to the deck page and determine if there's any additional violations. Now, even though the policy was processed last year, maybe a violation was not on the record when the policy was processed. Maybe it was pending. Maybe they were going to court. Maybe they were fighting for the violation. So now that the violation shows up, the rate is higher. So investigate. So solution number one, it has to do with investigating to determine why the rate increased. Now there has to be a logical explanation, and if there's not, and you're not able to find anything, then most likely it's going to be a rate increase. Simply, policies on a term-to-term basis may go up a little bit or may actually drop. Solution number two, educate the client on the loss ratio, the exposure, and any differences between violations or any changes that they made, and convince them that that's the reason why the rate increased. Now, there's a few points that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, review the rules of the DMV, especially within the points. Educate them on how the points reflect and influence the rates. Number two, educate them that minor violations such as speeding tickets, a red light, a stop sign ticket, those are considered 1 point and they'll be on the record for 3 years. Number 3, major violations are 2 points and they may be on the record for 7 to 10 years, depending on the violation. Number 4, educate them on accidents, on the fact that accidents are going to be on the record for 3 years, but there's different type of accidents, and it's all based on how much money the insurance company lost, how much money did the insurance company pay for the accident. So if they were involved in an accident and they made damages of $10,000 versus $1,000, their rate is gonna increase simply because the insurance company paid $10,000 to actually cover the claim. So within these number 5, you really need to educate them on the reason why the policy went up. And if it has to do with violations or accidents, you really need to educate them on the exposure and how much money the insurance companies lose simply by paying money out of pocket to cover a claim. Now, if the policy went up due to changes on the policy or late payments or cancellation fees, then you need to educate them on the procedures as far as making their payments on time and the consequences when they don't. Number 6, requote them on the system to determine if we have something lower. Educate them on the concept that we're quoting them again. We're running their information through our database to determine if we have something lower. Now, customers are always looking for solutions. Customers want to make sure that we're doing the best to help them simply by understanding the situation, which we're going to investigate, and educating them on the reason why it went up, and also requoting them and emphasizing on the fact that we're going to search to see if we have something lower. That should be more than enough for customers to have a good and positive impression, simply because we're doing our best to completely eliminate any negatives and to educate them on the reason and on the reason why the insurance company offered a rate that was a bit higher. And most importantly, we're looking for solutions. We're looking for other options. We're looking at our database to determine if we have something lower. So follow this system for every customer, or follow these procedures for every customer that walks into the office complaining that the rate increased.